In this class, let us see what are the various steps to learn C language. Learning C language is similar to the way we learn English language. In English language, first we learn alphabets. Then we see how one or more alphabets are grouped together to form meaningful words. And next we see how one or more words are combined together to form meaningful sentences. Finally, we see how one or more sentences are combined together to form meaningful paragraphs. On similar lines, in C or C++ language also, first we learn alphabets. Now let us see what are the various types of alphabets that are available in C language. The first set of alphabets are letters. Next we have digits. Next we have symbols. Now let us see what are the various letters that are available in C language. Capital letters such as A, B, C and so on up to Z, and lowercase letters such as A, B and so on up to Z. Digits are from 0 to 9. Next we see what are the various symbols that are available. The various symbols such as plus, minus, star, slash, etc. and so many other symbols are also there. Later we see what are the various other symbols that are available in C language. Thus, in C language, the alphabets are classified into letters, digits and symbols. Once we know what are the alphabets, next we see how one or more alphabets are combined together to form meaningful words. The meaningful words in C language, we call them as tokens. Now let us see what are the various types of tokens that are available in C language. First one is keywords. Next we have identifiers. Next we have constants. Fourth one we have operators, and finally we have special symbols. Now let us see some of the examples of keywords in C language. We have int, then we have float, then we have character and so on. So many other keywords are also there. In detail in the next section we see what are keywords and what are the different types of keywords and what is the meaning of each keyword such as int, float, char and so on. Next we see identifiers. Some of the examples of identifiers are marks, average, sex, etc. In the next section we see what are identifiers, what are the rules to be followed to frame an identifier, and later we see some of the identifiers also. Next we have constants such as 996, 99.6 and within single quote any character you can write. Here I have written F. So these are all examples of constants in C language. Now let us see some of the examples for operators. Operators such as plus, minus, star, slash, etc. will be used in C language. Next, some of the special symbols such as brackets, braces, parentheses and so many other special symbols are also we are using. So, the various tokens such as keywords, identifiers, constants, operators and special symbols we have learnt. In the coming section in detail we see what each token does. Now let us see how one or more tokens are combined together to form meaningful sentences. In C language, the meaningful sentences we call them as statements. For example, printf, welcome to SVIT. Another example, I want to compute area of a rectangle. What is the formula to compute area of a rectangle? Area equal to length into breadth. Another example, I want to compute simple interest. What is the formula to compute simple interest? SI equal to P into T into R divided by 100. Now like this we frame so many statements. Once we know what are statements in C language, later we learn how one or more statements are grouped together to form a specific task or to achieve a specific task. Now that part of the program to achieve some specific task is explained here with an example. Suppose I write hash include stdio.h, then I write void main, then I write printf welcome to svit, and later I close the brace. Now if you observe, this is a program which does a specific activity. Now let us see if I execute this, what will happen. Now execution starts from the function main. In the function main you have only one statement, that is printf welcome to svit. When I use printf, whatever is within the double quote, that is welcome to svit, will be displayed as it is on the screen. Thus the program what I have given here, after executing we get the message welcome to svit. Now in short, as a first step we learn alphabets of a language. In the second step we learn how one or more alphabets can be grouped together to form meaningful words. Those meaningful words we call them as tokens. In the third step we learn how one or more words called tokens are grouped together to form meaningful sentences or statements. And in the last step we see how one or more statements can be grouped together to achieve a specific task. Now we see the alphabets in detail. Now we see what is an alphabet in C language. Let us look into the definition. A symbol that is used while writing a program is called an alphabet. An alphabet can be a letter. When I say letter, letters can be capital letter A, B, C and so on up to Z, and lowercase letters such as A, B, C and so on up to Z. So an alphabet can be a letter, or it can be a digit also. Now let us say what are the digits. Digits are from 0 to 9. So an alphabet can be a letter, a digit, or it can be a symbol. Symbols such as, now look at these symbols here, and we have another set of symbols here, and we have another set of symbols here. When we say this symbol is capital letter A, this symbol is capital letter B, this symbol is capital letter C, each symbol has some name. This symbol we call it as a tilde. This symbol is caret, C-A-R-E-T. This symbol is minus. The name of this symbol is plus. The name of this symbol is slash. The name of this symbol is asterisk. It is also called star. The name of this symbol is semicolon. The name of this symbol is colon. This symbol is comma. This symbol is hash. This is left parenthesis. This is right parenthesis. This is left brace. This is right brace. This is left bracket. This symbol is right bracket. This is less than. It is greater than. We have this symbol as a percentage. We call this symbol as assignment. This symbol is underscore. This is vertical bar. It is also called pipe symbol. This symbol is single quote. This is dot. And this symbol is double quote. And this symbol is question mark. And this symbol is reverse slash, or it is also called backslash. So an alphabet can be a letter, a digit, a symbol, or a white space. Now let us see what do you mean by white space. Characters such as space, then we have tab. Tab is denoted by /t. We have new line character. It is denoted by /n. We have carriage return. It is denoted by /r and so on. So characters such as space, tab, new line, carriage return, etc. are also the alphabets of C language and are called white spaces. So an alphabet can be a letter, a digit, a symbol, or a white space. In other words, the various symbols that can be used while writing a program are called alphabets. The alphabets, they are also called character set. So the alphabets in C language are broadly classified as shown below. First we see letters and then digits, then symbols such as all these symbols. In simple, I can write symbols such as plus, minus, star, slash, percentage, etc. And finally white spaces. So a symbol that is used while writing a program is called an alphabet. An alphabet can be a letter, a digit, a symbol, or a white space. In other words, the various symbols that can be used while writing a program are called alphabets or character set. The alphabets in C language are broadly classified as letters, digits, symbols, and white spaces.